Hey kids, so before we get to the actual footage, I'm going to try to bring you a bit up to speed on all the stuff I lost. You're going to see me jump like 7 stars. Now, I think I lost a couple episodes worth of footage. You're also going to see a bunch of stuff that I built and talked about that is going to be completely new, despite the fact that I probably spent 2 episodes talking about it. You're going to see this big sign that's stuck on the side of my house. Me and Ginger have been trying to figure out a path for a single player. And along the way, it's had a couple of revisions, none of which you saw. I think, but when we put it up, I just got probably butchery or carpentry. Yeah, carpentry. And I had a couple wibbles here and there because I realized, oh, I need this to get that, and I need blah blah to get this, and so on and so forth. Kind of condensed that down into lost footage. You're not going to see the 11 stockpiles of iron ore I had sitting here. It's rather proud about. And it almost all came out of down here. This is almost entirely iron ore. There's still some here. There's still a bunch over here. Because of the geology of the area, there's a big hill here. And since iron spawns at a certain depth below surface, I didn't have to go down very far to start finding it all. And then it just slowly mixed itself into the upper plate. It's still there. It's a little broken up, but it's still there. I built a rather large structure. Start putting workshops into. This was the first spot I got into. Carpentry table, masonry, blah blah blah. And the intention is that this thing is big enough to put. I'll go here. Big enough to put a large lumber stockpile on the roof when I had access to them. The idea of the size of this damn thing, and it's still not done. Inside each one of these spots, there's enough room that I can put a second layer in here to make this whatever size I need it to be. And you guys didn't get to see a single part of it. Yes, we've got pottery. This is a 36 cubic meter room in the tiniest space I could come up with in here. For some friggin' reason, I thought you needed lumber to make wood molds for bricks. I don't know why I thought that. So I could have been started making a bunch of this stuff as soon as I had smelting, which I've got. Also, underneath part of this structure is my second iron mine. I didn't even really get that far into. Playing around with the upper plate, coal, that. We then descend all the way down. Now you see why I have so much stone to build a giant structure, right? Here's our... That's the top reaches of the lower plate. Then we get into... as far as I got. I'm going to need a whole lot of that limestone. And I'm going to need it pretty soon. Processed a lot of metals. And I was really happy with the giant piles of stuff I had. It's there, but it feels as though I didn't actually make it because you guys didn't get to see the process. And that's what kind of really hurt about a lot of this, is that I have all this stuff and the process of making it all is just gone. Thanks to my own incompetence with frickin' not keeping track of where stuff was stored. Up there, there's a tunnel cut through the mountains. So we just go over here. There we are. It's a nice big wetland back here. I found a whole bunch of crushed coal, surface crushed coal over there, which is pretty cool. And all this does is save me time so I can get through here with a cart. And again, wonder why I had so much stone, eh? That should bring everything up, and we now return you show in progress. Due to a slight accident involving the fact that my PC was set up to save things to OneDrive instead of something worthwhile like my own hard drive, and me cleaning that out because it was causing some lag. What you didn't see was me deciding that I had to take shipbuilding before progressing further on. Despite the fact that I told you I was going to take tailoring next. I didn't because I wanted these. And you don't get to those without those. So, in order to make what I'm doing reasonably efficient, I had to go into a little bit of shipbuilding and then wait a whole lot of hours for my next star to show up. My mistake for... Excuse me. It's a G-rated program, you two. Stop that. What else you didn't see was a bunch more work on this. The facility. The compound. It's getting kind of big. A few terraforming issues hither and yon, but nothing that can't be solved by simply an awful lot of shovel work. Mostly the fact that the ground kind of slopes away suddenly over here. And then up over here. Yeah. I may have misjudged how big this thing was going to be. But, well, you know, this is a Let's Play. Go big or go home, right? Got an awful lot of mortared stone made. Moved an awful lot of dirt. An awful lot of dirt. A lot of dirt. Fortunately, you know, I'm going to need all this sand. That's not an issue. I was hoping to get into smelting. That's not happening anytime soon. What we're going to do is kill a couple minutes here. I've got tailoring coming up. Is it tailoring? I think it's tailoring. It's tailoring. Because 1, tailoring gets me a bunch of furniture. 2, tailoring will let me make the stuff I need to make windmills. And I need windmills to make engineering papers so I can take some of the other things that I don't have books for. Like, well, for 1, advanced. Oh no, yeah, basic advanced is just windmills. Right? Yeah, advanced. Yeah, so I can turn all of these 3s into 4s, and then into dedicated stuff. Because I'm by myself, all this stuff's got to be done just by me. So the less materials and time I have to spend on it, the better. Another thing I accidentally deleted was that on the other side of this giant wall here, this kind of goes up and over and down onto this big flat plain of rainforest. I decided that eventually I'm going to need to get some carts through here. And since I needed the stone anyway, there you are, one nice easy path. It's actually easier than that would have been over here. It would have been, had been up a whole bunch and then down a whole bunch. Skip that. Also, rice grows anywhere in this biome. So I can plant a bunch of rice and not have to worry about too much transport. How are you doing? You're almost done. That tells you how long ago I planted it. It's also full of cotton and a wonderfully conspicuous biome change that I planted something there. I think it died. I tried to plant trees there. I have the unfortunate, there's this big huge spot here. It'd be great for planting stuff. And nothing wants to grow. I've got my hastily written piece of paper with a bunch of temperatures and rainfalls on it, And nothing fits here. Nothing. Like, what? 15.5 Celsius and 58% rainfall. It's too wet for flax. And it's too dry for pineapples. I would love to grow some. This is a perfect spot to grow stuff. Can't. Well, I guess go grass. It's not like plant fibers are hard to get. This comes all the way through here to got a river with proper highway dividers, because you. I planted rice here a while ago, harvested it, was too lazy to hoe it all back up, and it all came back. There wasn't rice here before, but now there's rice. There was nowhere near this much rice before. So I'm starting to think that I have to put some work into plant spread. Maybe they've changed something in the way plants spread in this game. They don't spread quite as much. I've noticed, like, there's these big spots where nothing has grown out here all game. Nothing. That patch of rice back there was nowhere near that thick. This over here used to be a giant pile of crushed coal. Lots and lots of crushed coal. A whole bunch of crushed coal. Which is good, because since I don't have basic engineering yet, can't crush coal to use it. But I can come over here, I can grab a whole pile of it, and have it for making... I wonder it was going to be for making charcoal, and I think that's about it. Charcoal. Yeah. Because as much of a pain in the butt charcoal is to make, and that you have to cut down trees and put in the charcoal, the amount of space it takes up for the amount of energy you get from it is... I will take that over stockpiles of crushed coal, right? So there's 16 slots in a chest. Charcoal stacks to 100, so you can get 1,600 charcoal in a 1x2x1 high space. That's a math amount of joules, but compared to only getting 125 crushed coal into a stockpile, that's 5x5x5. It's definitely a trade-off worth making, and it's far easier to transport. And because it's renewable, if you gotta, stop something halfway through or pick up your steam truck because you drove it in the water again, it doesn't hurt quite as much. I say quite as much. There's also this whole area, because it's nice and flat, gives me access to a fair chunk of the map, including over here where I want to go there for copper, but copper's not in the great big spire of the world anymore. It's scattered hither and yon in these cold biomes. So my options are pick it out of the walls along rivers and cliffs, or strip mine a cold forest. Now, the Minecraft player in me wants to just strip off the top of the world like that, because it's just that much easier. This is basalt over here, right? I'm not crazy. This is crushed basalt. Okay, cool. There's still coal all over the place too, by the way. I don't remember surface coal in Eco. I don't seem to remember it. But I do like that there's a whole bunch of surface metals. Oh yeah, I did that. There's a whole bunch of surface metals that make getting off the ground a lot easier. Right? Like, there's enough iron scattered around just on the surface to help you get some papers written. And then once you get below, there's lots. And there's despite the fact, so it's not quite in the same concentration as previous versions. Like 08, 09 had the big, huge, the iron plate under the desert, and then an upper plate and a lower plate. This still, there's a lot of iron here. Like there's just iron and more iron, and there's some more iron, and then there's even like, I get it. I'm in single player, so I'm the only one that has to deal with. I'm the only one to supply iron for it, right? I'm the only one that needs the iron. So this isn't a server where there's 30 people who want iron tools now, and that I'm not sure the type of person who wants to go mine it themselves. But we're gonna get tailoring here in a second, which I'm happy about. We've been slowly building up materials over here in the tailoring shop, because gathering gets you lint and flax fiber. I've had gathering since the beginning, so why not use it? And we take tailoring, we get access to the loom. Loom gives us access to fabric. Fabric gets us furniture. Furniture gets us points. And then the amount of time we wait to get into basic engineering won't be quite as long. I say that. We're still in a position where I can leave my computer run all night and come back in the morning. It's kind of like playing on a server that way. And here we go with a star. Where's it? Oh yeah, tailoring its own thing. I should know this by now. I'm sorry, what? I've made the tailoring book. Don't tell me I haven't made it. Made all these things. I've lied to myself. Well, like I said, see, I've made the tailoring book. It's right there. See, I made it. Pay no attention to anything that happened previously. You are mistaken. Now that we're here, I can make the loom, but first I gotta make a bunch of... I guess I gotta make a bunch of thread. And I can make a chair. And move on to... No, I'm making that anytime soon. Washboard. And then things like these boots. Anything that decreases your calories, I'm fine with. Just have to get there first. Now, one thing you'll notice is I'm 11 stars in. I've just now hit level 6 in butchery. Due to the food spoilage mechanic, I have a lot of stuff that is going to get turned into papers sooner than later. What's got left? 2 days? I don't think I'll eat that in 2 days. I can't eat all of that in 2 days. This is all just kind of stayed there because it's not going to spoil in that format. Oh. Tailoring's leveling up nicely though. The problem here, talent choice, is that I'm going to have to break up. I want the doubled speed from focused workflow. The problem is focused workflow requires one of that given table. So our little tailoring shop is effectively going to turn into 3 different buildings. How? I hadn't thought about that yet because I built this like day 2. But in order to get the best efficiency out of this stuff, and mostly out of these tables, the tables and the looms, these things take a long time to work. And I can't resist the double speed. Maybe moving the tailoring shop. Tailoring shop may be moving over to one of these bays. The issue then is which one? Preferably one without too many openings. That way there's not too many. Well, no, we got 1, 2, 3. I could put 3 different tailor shops there. I intend to do all my ore processing somewhere else. Could I put it here? Oh yeah, I can fit 3 rooms in here, no problem. This has got 1800 volume. Plus it's a lot closer to where all my lumber is going to get made. I want to truck stuff around quite as much. So yeah, that's once I get to focused workflow, that's what's going to happen. Should be a little bit. Did my looms get done? My looms got done. As it stands, the only thing we can actually really make right now is a chair and the washboard. Because we don't have lumber, we don't have iron to make the big fancy beds. I don't think there's a medium bed. We have the whatever the basic bed is. Pants, hat, pants, stuff. I can make the chair once I have fabric. Can't make that. It requires smelting. I can make streamers. Not making couch. I'll make a washboard. And it's going to be things like the workbench. It's going to be a complete wardrobe upgrade from the current rather boring looking stock design where I've got a arrow through my kidney. Something. I'm going to wind up wearing the same thing I always do, which is camouflage. It's always camouflage, because camouflage is cool. But first, let's throw these down. I can make rugs. That's good. So we have some furnishings, and a whole bunch of fabric. And given how fast this is going, yep, I'm going to have to develop that chunk of the complex before I go any further. But that's okay. That just means the next episode I'll have a slightly flashier looking house, and some decorations, and a new wardrobe. Hopefully, closer to actually getting somewhere technologically. But I'll see you then.